Hello everybody, it's Donna here from Embrace the Moon Tarot, and I am just going to make this a very quick intro and say that I'm really sorry that I haven't been doing the Tarotscopes lately, but all the feelings and the energy that has been available, I've been feeling all of them. Or at least I feel like I have been. So I've been kind of making myself a little bit of a hermit, but let's see if I can get back into the swing of these and start with February's reading. So let's begin. Hello Scorpios, and welcome to your February 2018 reading. And this is kind of an interesting couple of cards. These are actually a bit of a repeat, but the message is not the same. So I was quite interested as I laid them out. I was kind of feeling like, well, I've seen these cards already this month. But what I was getting off of it was, yeah, but it's not the same message. So, Scorpios, there was a bit of excitement. I feel like there's been a positive turn for a lot of you Scorpios. Like, something has opened up, something has changed, something has you feeling excitable, anticipating, all in the positive way. And that is reflective actually in the Fool. So whatever has occurred, and I feel it was very, very recent, like we're talking towards the end of January. I mean, this has been recent. It's something you've been waiting for too. Not just has you waiting for something to come. It's actually a shift that you've been putting in time waiting for to happen in general. And it has, you're starting either to start to see it or has actually happened. And so mentally we have the Fool. So whatever this was that has occurred, it actually has you ready to take a leap forward. So there's some events or things that you have been planning, and whatever it was that has happened has basically given you the go-ahead to take that giant leap of faith and to pursue it. And mentally, you're just kind of wrapping around your head on the logistics of all of this. So you're really trying to tap into analyzing, having your ducks all in a row, so that when you do take that leap of faith, you're not completely blind when you do it, but you do understand there are going to be risks, but you also feel like you can just take the bags of tools with you that you have been collecting during these prior months of waiting. And now that you have the go ahead, you're ready to leap. So basically somewhere in February, you're going to start the process. And for the most part, it doesn't feel like this giant leap forward as much as a couple hop, skips, and a jump. You're not going to be knowing where you're landing with those hop, skips, and jumps, but they're at the beginning hop, skips, and jump before you finally free yourself and take the final leap that has you really not knowing and also leaving behind aspects that you're going to be clinging to when you first take those initial hop, skips, and jumps. I hope that makes sense. But February is definitely the month where you're starting to see things come together, the logistics of it all, everything's kind of making sense. And even though you might not see where the next step is, you feel like you have a feeling of knowing where it is, which allows you to feel comfortable and confident in taking that leap. As a result of all of this, physically, in your physical world, this feels very much career-oriented, as does this. You feel that you are finally kind of in control of your career. Like it's finally going in the direction that you wanted. Whatever it is, whatever your job is. And it doesn't necessarily have to be being the CEO, but you just feel like things have finally stabilized at your job. So whatever it was that was feeling unstable, be it the position that you were in or people that were somehow involved in the job itself that kind of made you hate seems like a strong word, but that kind of comes to mind, kind of was pushing you to the point where you were hating your job. A lot of that's going to flush itself out. And so you feel like, and some of that feels like that means you're going to be able to step into the person that you've always wanted to step in within the position that you already hold. And as a result of it, you feel that things are starting to feel much more stable and you feel like you have a little bit more control. And again, this isn't the control necessarily as like a CEO or a supervisor or administrator, as much as just being in control in general. You don't feel like you're displaced. You don't feel like you are being kind of pushed around by the whims of your coworkers. you are feeling very solid in your personal position, whatever it may be, so that you don't feel like you're being pushed around, basically. And then emotionally, we have Seven of Cups. And for this specifically, I'm really tapping into the fact that this particular character is just kind of on its hands and knees. And emotionally, I feel like you have not been as available as you should have been. And you're going to continue kind of some of these bad habits that you have created throughout February. And you're kind of being told, you know, you really need to work on this. You really need to be more available. You really need to be more, I don't want to say serving to others, but it kind of feels like serving, giving, kind of in between giving and serving. If there was a word, please put in the comments below. But kind of in between giving and serving. Like it has a bit of the feeling of giving, but also a bit of serving. I don't know. That's the best I can come up with. I don't know if there's just not a word that exists that's trying to get what I'm trying to get across, but there's definitely a bit of that you're being requested by universe to start being more of, presenting yourself more of. You have people around you who they need you to become this version of yourself. They need you to be available to them. And I feel like some of them are people who have been available to you, for you, when you were going through some really deep, intense, emotional stuff that kind of made you have closed off. I don't want to say hermit. Like you weren't a hermit. You were still out and about, and you were still very aware of what was going on around you. You were very aware of the emotional, whether it be turmoil or bliss. You were very much aware of it, but you were kind of closed off. Like you purposely closed parts of yourself off because you just didn't want to be bothered with the energy it took. And you're just being told right now, okay, you need to unlock that part of your heart, and you need to start kind of being more presentable and available, because there is someone or someones out there who need your special kind of love. The intensity that you can provide when it comes to love. They need that, but not in the level of guidance and pushing them to see things from a perspective, but more of just kind of laying yourself out there and just giving all you have to them so that they can feed off of that in a positive way. Don't put yourself in a position that's allowing someone to feed off of you. That's going to drain you. This is all supposed to be in a way that's supposed to be helpful. So if you do find yourself in a position that they're actually draining you like a vampire, nope, that's not the type of position we're asking. We're asking about the type of position that someone needs and that you feel replenished by the process of giving to them. That's what you need to be doing emotionally in the month of February. So someone out there needs you to be just full out giving to them. And in the process of giving to them, you will be receiving back. And I know that sounds odd, but it's just this flow that happens. And it just has to be the way the universe works sometimes. When we give in a certain way, the universe gives back to us. So when we are filling up the cup for somebody else, the universe is giving back to us as a result of it. And that's the sort of connection that you're looking for. And that's the sort of connection you're being asked to be open and available to provide for somebody. Page of Wands, we have Princess of Wands, which is the Page of Wands we have in the spiritual aspect. And I just have an overall feeling that there has been some steps back taken spiritually. So, and I feel it kind of ties into how you were blocked off emotionally. There was a time period that you were also kind of closed off spiritually. And it wasn't that you didn't have any faith or belief or you completely disconnected, but there was a part of you that was kind of like, yeah, I'm not working on myself spiritually right now. Like, I don't have the energy. No, not happening. And that's going to turn around a little bit. But as a result of how long you kind of closed off and was like, yeah, not participating in that, there's a part of you that feels like you're new at it again. So some of the things that you felt that you had honed a couple months ago, you're going to be revisiting with fresh eyes. Like you, almost like you're learning it anew all over again. So that's going to be available for you for the month of February. But And I don't feel like I have to tell you don't worry about it, because I feel like for the most part, as you recognize that you are revisiting and relearning some of these things, there's going to be a renewed sense of enjoyment, because where you were at when you learned it the first time, you couldn't really fully embrace what it was that you were learning, what it was that you were experiencing. And because you are through whatever it was that was happening back then, and you're kind of on it from this new point of perception that you're at, you're kind of embracing it because it feels so refreshing, and you're kind of taking a lot of joy in the fact that you do get to re-experience and relearn some of this, because you feel like you can get more out of it this time around than you got the last time around. All right, Scorpio, that is all I have as far as the reading is concerned. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a wrap-up card, kind of a mantra or something or other to take with you. And let me go ahead and see if I can get a card. So I have two cards. Fear and manifestation. So I feel that there is going to be a bit of an energy throughout the month where some of this may get a bit intense if you let yourself get too overwhelmed or too engrossed in all of it. And so there's going to be this fear that's going to kind of shake your stability quite a bit, and you're being forewarned. Don't feed into that. Don't pay any attention to that. Continue manifesting. This is the key. This is a bit of a warning to let you know this could happen, but you're supposed to just know about this so that you can just stop it in its tracks and then just get back into fully manifesting. Tapping into what you know so that you can really connect with taking the risks when you're supposed to be taking the risks, creating that stability, being open for those that you know you need to be open so that you can feed them, and then in turn the universe can feed you. And just get into this whole power, self-empowerment of just this alignment where you can make things happen. All the stuff that you have been feeling overwhelmed and you wish could be happening, but you felt like it couldn't, is now available to you, and you're supposed to just toss the fear aside and make it happen. It's available. Just make it happen. All right, Scorpios, that's all I have for you. I hope you have a beautiful, full of manifestation month of February, and hopefully I will see you in March.